We live in a big, beautiful world. However, our planet certainly has its fair share of spooky and mysterious places that lure in morbidly inclined travelers, much like myself. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, this is the Top 5 Scariest Places on Earth, Part 3. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, Hill of Crosses in Lithuania. Located in Lithuania, the Hill of Crosses is a site of pilgrimage about 12 kilometers north of the city of Šiauliai. Now, the precise origin of the crosses is unknown, but it is believed that the first crosses were placed on the former Damonte Hill fort after the 1831 uprising. The uprising was of course known as the Polish-Russian War and was an armed rebellion in the heartland of partitioned Poland against the Russian Empire. Ever since then, not only crosses and crucifixes, but also statues of the Virgin Mary have appeared on the Hill of Crosses, as well as carvings of Lithuanian patriots, and thousands upon thousands of tiny effigies and rosaries have been brought here by Catholic pilgrims. Now, as you would expect, the exact number of all these items is unknown, but it is estimated to range between 50,000 to 100,000. Over the years, the place has come to signify the peaceful endurance of Lithuanian Catholicism, despite the threats it faced throughout history. Throughout history, the Hill of Crosses has been used as a place for Lithuanians to pray for peace for their country and for the loved ones they had lost during the wars of independence. The hill eventually became a place of defiance once again during Soviet occupation from 1944 to 1991. The hill and crosses were bulldozed by Soviets 3 times, but locals kept rebuilding it. So sweet. In at number 4, Myrtles Plantation, USA. The Myrtles Plantation is a historic home and former antebellum plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana. Built in 1976, it is considered to be one of America's most haunted homes, with a variety of legends surrounding the plantation. Now, one of the reasons Myrtles is believed to be so damn haunted is because it is rumored to be on top of an ancient Tunica Indian burial ground. As of right now, it is currently a bed and breakfast and offers historical and mystery tours. As I previously mentioned though, it is considered to be one of the most haunted homes in the United States, with it rumored to be home to at least 12 ghosts, and is often reported that 10 murders occurred in the house, but historical records only indicate the murder of one, William Winter. William Drew Winter is also a very popular character in the plantation. He was an attorney who lived in the home before being shot by a stranger. It has been said that after he was shot, he staggered inside the home and died trying to climb the stairs. He died on the 17th step. Even today, visitors still claim to hear his dying footsteps. Coming in at number 3, Battleship Island, Nagasaki, Japan. Also known as Hashima Island, this is the abandoned island nearby the city of Nagasaki in southern Japan, and is one of 505 uninhabited islands in Nagasaki Prefecture. In the 1950s, it was a bustling place, home to thousands of coal mine workers and families. However, ever since the coal mine shut down in 1974, it has remained abandoned. As petroleum replaced coal in Japan in the 1960s, coal mines began to close across the country, with Mitsubishi officially closing the mine in January 1974, and the island was completely cleared by April of the same year. Today, its most notable features are the abandoned and still mostly intact apartment buildings, the surrounding sea walls, and its distinctive profile shape. In 2009, Japan requested to include Hashima Island along with 22 other industrial sites in the UNESCO World Heritage Site list, which was initially opposed by South Korean authorities on the grounds that Korean and Chinese forced laborers were used on the island prior and during World War II. Although Hashima was entirely closed off until 2009, travelers are now allowed to visit, with it being recognized by UNESCO in 2015. You may also recognize the site from the big screen, with it serving as the secret headquarters of Bond villain Raoul Silva in the 2012 movie Skyfall. In at 2, Lizzie Borden's house, Fall River, Massachusetts. Now, for those who don't know, the Lizzie Borden house is where Lizzie Borden and her family lived, and is located on 230 2nd Street in the city of Fall River, Massachusetts. Born Lizzie Andrew Borden, sucks for her, she was an American woman who was the main suspect in the August 4th, 1892 axe murders of her father and stepmother. However, Borden was tried and ultimately acquitted of the murders. The case received widespread newspaper coverage throughout the United States, and following her release from jail, where she was held during the trial trial, Borden chose to remain in the house her parents had been killed in, despite being ostracized by her other residents. Now, because the Commonwealth of Massachusetts elected to not charge anyone with the murder that occurred over 127 years ago, a ton of speculation about the crimes have continued on. Now, Lizzie spent the rest of her life in the home up until her death at age 66, just days before the death of her sister Emma. The house has been operated as a bed and breakfast since 1996 under the ownership of Martha McGinn, who inherited the home. According to Martha McGinn, the room where Lizzie's stepmother Abby Borden was found murdered is the most requested room at the bed and breakfast. Guests who stay, not just in Abby's room but in the home as a whole, have reported all manners of strange sightings in the home. Would you dare stay there? I would. I'd stay in every room. And finally, coming in at number 1, Chernobyl, Pripyat, Ukraine. Pripyat is a ghost city in northern Ukraine named after the nearby Pripyat River and was founded on February 4th, 1970 as the 9th nuclear city in the Soviet Union to serve the nearby Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The city was officially proclaimed in 1979 and had grown to a population of 49,360 by the time it was evacuated on April 27th, 1986, the day after the Chernobyl disaster. Now, the Chernobyl disaster was a nuclear disaster which occurred on April 26, 1986 at the nuclear power plant not far from Pripyat, and was considered to be the worst nuclear disaster in history, and is also one of the only 2 nuclear energy disasters rated at 7, the maximum severity on the International Nuclear Event Scale, the other being the 2011 Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster in Japan. Ever since the nuclear disaster in Pripyat, the city has remained entirely uninhabited since the evacuation, although the buildings, furniture and all other signs of life are exactly where the former citizens left them. It is a city frozen in time, plates still out, dolls left on beds, and even a haunting fairground ride waiting to be used. Weathered books can be found in classrooms and abandoned photographs are still hanging on walls in their original frames. There are strict rules regarding the site considering the sheer amount of radiation in the area. However, following the airing of HBO's Chernobyl series, Ukraine's government have announced that the site will become an official tourist attraction. Will you be checking it out? I personally don't want to die, so I won't. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with that list? Were there any scary places that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below and perhaps we can do a part 4. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos, top 5 scariest forgotten horror TV shows. Ronnie Terwilliger said, I love Lucy's outtakes, they were hilarious, you go girl, lol. Well, lol to you too. There are so many outtakes, so be sure to let us know in the comments below if you would like an outtakes video. There are also a ton of outtakes in this video, if the editors put them in. Username I can't pronounce, but it's down here somewhere. Miss Lucy reciting the opening and ending narration of Tales from the Dark Side scared me like when I was a kid. Good times. All hail Queen Lucy if you know what's good for you. You heard them. Get down, peasants. Vincent Meyer said, hey Lucy, what about top 5 scariest episodes of classic TV shows like Tales from the Crypt or The Twilight Zone? I'm very into that idea. I'll speak to my peeps and get it out. Sinister Sadie said, hells yeah! Lucy, I'm a sucker for an anthology, so you are speaking my language. High fives to that. High fives indeed. Anthologies, when done right, are the greatest. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. Until next time, see you later. Okay, editors, forewarning. Number 5 is long. Really long. I want to die already. Nature is clearly doing some bizarre... Nature is clearly doing some bizarre... Nature is clearly... Oh my... Fuck you! Jesus. Animations have got... Great start. Can't even speak the English words. In this specific marking the path the great white steed took when... Oh my god! Keep away from the midnight man. To keep away from the midnight man. To keep away from the... You then must place the paper with a lit candle on top of it with a lit candle on top of it in front of...